A cooperative commissioned a young designer to make furniture for the post-war austerity household, and what became Danish furniture design was born.
Det er Børge Mogensens sofa, som hedder Pindestolen, og som er tegnet i 1945 for den kooperative møbelindustri herhjemme. Så hvis vi nu et enkelt øjeblik drejer hele herligheden omkring, så vil vi ane de forbilleder, der har været, og det er karakteristisk for dansk underholdende indimellem, for nok er det puritanske arkitektur, men det er jo også brugsmæssigt nyttigt og daglige er bygget flere funktioner ind i den. Den kan bruges som en læggeplads også. Den kan jo være et udtryk for en særlig brug af dette møbel her, som altså også kan bruges som en nødseng.
Danish design was only functionalism with the edges knocked off. The craftsmanship was traditional, but everything else was new. However, it caught the mood of austerity and was fashionable everywhere for a decade. It's fashionable in Denmark still.
On my first morning, I called an archaeologist, Julian Parsons. He told me to meet him at the Cheltenham Art Gallery, where there's a landscape painting completed just before the great agricultural revolution gathered pace.
Well, it's actually a wonderful image of the landscape, actually the landscape you're interested in, that little area of landscape, painted in the 18th century, the early 18th century, between 1700 and 1730. And it gives us a wonderful snapshot of how this landscape would have looked in that period.
The first thing that strikes you is how many people there are here. I mean, it's densely popular. They're all working away.
Yeah. I mean, it really is the countryside alive with people and cutting hay. It's the hay harvest.
Where have all the people gone?
The mechanisation that we associate with the agricultural revolution meant there wasn't the need for this large rural workforce.
So the landscape, like the communities, was transformed by the agricultural revolution?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But strangely enough, if you see this view today, it actually has very great similarities with this wonderful painting.
That afternoon, I persuaded Julian to take me there. The old way of life was gone, the fields utterly turned over by modern machinery, but Julian insisted we find the exact spot where the painter stood nearly 300 years before. Would anything still be the same? Yeah, it's certainly beginning to come a bit recognisable.
Feels familiar even though you haven't been here.
Yeah, that's right. Get out the map.
This should be about it, I think.
Now.
Here's to try and line up, is that the road?
Here it is.
Which you can still see.
Yeah, that new house, or newer house, sits in the corner there.
Right on the road there, yeah.
And the line-up of the hedges is
well, you can see
pretty
that
accurate.
The one in the foreground going across there, just behind the pylon, is that one there.
That's the old hedge.
That's
so
it.
Just where those sheep are is where they were cutting the hay.
Absolutely right, yeah.
But I mean, the grain of the land, the line, the hedges, is exactly the same.
It is, isn't it?
Mark takes the original boots and makes paper patterns of them, then adapts them to fit Jed. He's making each upper from just 2 pieces of cowhide.
So how much leather do you reckon you're going to need for both the boots?
A pair like this would probably take about 14 square foot.
How much?
How much is that in terms of a cow?
It's about a third of a cow.
Third of a cow.
There you go. This is a 9-core thread. This has got 9 strands of linen in it. This is a hemp thread, actually. So it's quite a heavy one. And there's black wax on here, which is a mixture of beeswax, pitch and rosin.
This is going to need a hell of a needle then, isn't it? You have to thread it through like that, do you?
No. We whip on a bristle out of the forelock of a pig or a hog.
So it's like a built-in needle. Which end do you use? The follicle or the other
This
end?
is the follicle end. This is the end. You see how it springs like that?
I do.
So this is the end we're going to actually do our sewing with.
Right.
Because you don't make the holes like you would with a needle when you're sewing. You make the holes with an awl first.
I didn't know any of this went on at all.
And you can sew with that.
You can sew with that, I wouldn't presume.
Right then, let's go do some sewing.